Hey YouTubers, this is John. I'm going to show you today how to install the Rainbird automatic filter drain valve. It actually has a filter media in it and therefore doesn't technically require gravel, but I want to use gravel anyway, and I'll show you that later. Right now I've got everything laid out in my workshop. This drain valve is actually the 16A FDV-C1. Looks like this, nothing fancy. If you look through these holes, you can see the actual filter membrane. It's 1/2-inch threads, and I just put regular Teflon tape around it. You can put pipe gunk, whatever you want, but something to help seal it. It needs to go into a T, which I'm showing here is just a standard plastic T. In my case, the pipe is 1-inch polyethylene, has a green stripe on the side which identifies the size. It's 1-inch ID and making it about 1 1/8, 1 1/4 OD. These have to be pushed onto the pipe or onto the T, which has barbed ends on it. It takes some kind of lubrication. In my case, I just use some old bath soap left over. There's usually water in your trench from draining the pipe. You can just put that on it, or if you want to get fancy, use some fancy liquid dish detergent. Then this pipe is going to be swollen, and it is on pretty tight, but you still need to finish it off with putting a stainless steel clamp around it. Now, I bought the little more expensive clamps because I didn't want to buy the tool. There is a crimping clamp that you can put on, but the tool costs something like $17, and I'm too cheap for that, so I went ahead and put the little bit extra money into the clamps because I don't do this for a living and can't justify that expensive tool. So basically, this is kind of the layout of what you're going to have. You're going to be cutting the pipe and cutting it out approximately the length of the T minus the threads, and then literally sliding it at each end and putting the clamp on each end and then screwing the clamps down tight. The T should be turned down to use gravity so the water will drain vertically, but it can be put on its side also. And like I said, you don't have to with this valve actually put it in gravel, but I think it's a good idea. And there again, this automatic drain valve is put on a system so that way you don't have to blow out the water at the end of the season. If you're in a cold climate like we are here in Missouri, this water will remain in the pipe and freeze. It's common to use a compressor to blow it out, but you have to have the compressor and know what you're doing to do that. If you have these automatic drains periodically placed throughout your sprinkler system at the low points, every time the sprinkler shuts off, the water automatically drains out, and then you don't have to worry about winterizing it. So I'm going to stop the video now and then take you outside and show you the actual installation. Okay, YouTubers, we're outside now, and I've got my fittings and my drain valve, my stainless steel clamps laying out next to the hole. Let's look in the hole. This is the hardest part of the job, finding where to install the valve. I've uncovered the side of a Rainbird 5000 sprinkler. It's right here. It's got a thin tubing coming out from the bottom. Some people call it a crazy pipe. It has an elbow that ties into the main elbow that then ties into the, in my case, 1-inch polyethylene pipe. So I've got the dirt excavated around it and pretty much underneath it. So my challenge here is to cut this pipe and install the T in like this. Screw the valve into the T. Now put Teflon tape around the threads first though, and then put these stainless steel clamps on where the pipe and the T connect. So let's first cut the pipe. Okay, I'm now cutting the pipe. As you can see, and I just used a carpet knife, and water is coming out, which is what you would expect, and hopefully the water will drain to this point. I think I have it in the low spot. I have this next to a large elevated bed, landscaping bed. Trying to show you, yeah, and you're looking uphill, and there are 3 sprinklers that run along the side of this mammoth bed and then come down to this last sprinkler, and they're fed from the higher up end of the sprinkler pipe, so I have to count on getting drainage here. Okay, I'm gonna let the pipe drain here and finish cutting it, and then we'll make the installation. Okay, I've cut the pipe, as you should be able to see, and I've slid the clamps over the pipe. You don't want to put the clamps over the pipe. You want to put the pipe over the pipe first before you put in the T, because then you have to take the clamp completely apart. That's not good. If you see here, this pipe was joined with a clamp that was put on with a crimping tool. Like I was telling you earlier, those can be used, but you got to have that crimping tool. So I spent a little bit more and got these standard inch to, I think, 1.5 inch stainless steel clamps. I've cut the pipe, and I've put some gravel in the bottom. I drained the water, bailed it out. You still see there's still a little bit of water in the pipe, in the trench. So I now have installed the drain into the T using Teflon tape. So that's complete. So now I will simply take the T and slide it into each end. It's nice to do this at a corner, because then you can move this fitting a little bit and helps you snug this in. So I will do that next, and then be back on to show you the completed project. Okay, there's the completed project. I might point out that when I was pushing these pipes into the T, it's kind of handy to use just a little garden spade that I used to help dig the hole, just to push on the T there and jam it home. And the same way on the other end, I actually put it on the edge of the T, stuck it down into the mud or dirt, and then pried it. Gives you some little additional leverage. But anyway, so I have the clamps on now, and the T's installed, and the drain valve is down into the gravel. And now I'll just complete this by putting some more gravel around the finished product, and then backfilling the hole. So I found the Rainbird 5000 sprinkler head, uncovered it, and worked down to the pipe, 1-inch pipe, and installed the 1/2 inch drain valve. So every time now when the sprinkler is on and the water pressure shuts off, the valve, it acts like a check valve, and it'll let the water go out. Otherwise it holds the water in when the line is under pressure. So I think that's about it. Hope you enjoyed this video. The sprinkler system was put in by a previous owner, by Mulligan Sprinkling Company out of Wentzville, Missouri, I think. I'll put a link to their site. I think they did a good job. And of course they blow these out for you if you want, but I'm cheap and like to do the work. I'm retired, so I'm installing these, and then I don't need to do that. But the system was put in well, 12 zones, a lot of sprinklers. The low pressure was low at the time this was installed, so they had more zones as a result. But now we have higher pressure. But anyway, that's it for today, YouTubers. Thanks for watching the video.